Hello everyone, welcome back to Quest 64. We are still in the Blue Cave, but I did, as I mentioned, discover how to activate an infinite HP and infinite MP cheat, basically. And utilizing it, I basically ran around. So I had to actually stop recording for a bit, so I ran back to Liverpool, saved and everything there. And so on my way back to kind of, get back here to start recording, I activated those codes. I was able to get HP and MP up by 3 each. MP is almost ready to level up again. Thankfully, because I didn't have any limit on HP and MP, I just sat there and used Fireball level 2, since it deals 2 hits every time. I did discover one minor thing while I was doing that, because I was looking through the guide that I was mentioning that talked about like how to level your stats and things. And apparently all enemies have a 1 out of 4 chance of dropping an item. Which I say that and you're immediately going to go, that can't possibly be because you've only ever had like 2 items drop. And yeah, it turns out that if it rolls an item, it then checks your inventory to see if you have that item. And if you do, it doesn't drop the item. I'm like, what? So not only do NPCs only give you 1 of something, monsters won't give you items if you're carrying that item already. This is not something I even was aware was a feature of the game. I always just thought like, well, monsters just don't really drop items. So I was confused when monsters, the 2 monsters dropped items. And it's because if you have 1 in your inventory, the monster will not drop it. So I'm just like, how? Like, first off, I get the whole there's no gold, and so you're not, the NPCs are like, well, not every NPC gives you, an item, because that might be a little OP. You just grab, 30 of, the freaking, healing potions or whatnot. But monsters won't drop any items if you are carrying that item. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, that is so ridiculous. But I did get 2 elements in the process. I put both of them into water. You'll notice that we're at 30 now instead of 28 where we were. There's really no skills in particular that I'm after from water. It's more just that the more I put into it, the better it becomes. And now I am confused. Hang on, sorry. I forgot what I was looking for. I was trying to find my guide for where the spirit locations are. And I found them. So, I found it, so. But yeah, when I first started dropping, when I first started going back through, I was like, I just want to get through as quick as possible, so I was dropping Avalanche. But then I realized, wait, I can use this to, level stats. And so I started just dropping Fireball level 2. Because again, every, hit that you do with a spell counts as, 1 experience for, for MP, right? So I was like, well, I'll do that, Ow, frick. I thought I had gotten too close there. There we go. So I was like, I'll do that. You know, I'll start building some stats up by doing that. Then I realized, like, I'm getting hit a lot because of that, you know? And so I was like, wait, this is leveling my defense too, you know? The only thing it really doesn't benefit me on is the agility. Just because, you know, that's raised by running or literally running around, right? So it doesn't, you know, me doing that, you know, casting Fireball level 2 over and over again doesn't benefit me in that way. But still, it's like, hey, you know, this is a good chance to get some stat levels. And I don't know what I got in the way of defense. I didn't really check. So I don't know what my, like, defense is now. But I definitely think that in between episodes, like, later on in the series, I'll probably just, instead of, you know, cheating my stats, I'll probably just do that. I might still cheat agility, since that's pretty difficult to, like, raise naturally. In any, like, concise way, other than literally running in circles. But I think that that's still what, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So, because I can just sit there and, you know, I can sit there and just, you know, drop Firebolt, Fireball, 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 and not even, like, think about it, you know? And if I can get, you know, Fireball level 2, or level 3 at some point, then that'd be great. Right now, I'm gonna focus on getting water up a bit more, so that we can get more healing. But I think at some point, I'm going to want to start looking into leveling fire and wind. So I figure I might do that once I get water up to, like, 40. Because I think that's what I want to do next. I want to get water up to, like, 40 or so. That way we can get some really good, like, healing going. And then once we've got, you know, that really good healing, then I will, whoops, that was not the spell I wanted to cast. Then I'll, you know, start looking into higher level, you know, into, like, leveling other things. So, unfortunately, I was unable to find anything that boosted your combat, like, experience itself. And I don't just want to, like, go in and give myself extra elements. Or extra spirits, rather. So, I think I'm just gonna, you know, level. As you would in an RPG. Despite the convolutedness of the, you know, of leveling in this game. There is technically still some semblance of leveling up and experience. It's not, you know, the most straightforward version, and it's certainly convoluted, but there is technically some semblance of leveling up. And so I think I'm gonna do that for, you know, the most of the stats. I might still hack the agility a bit. But if I come back and I have, like, you know, 5 new elements, you know, in between an episode, then those were technically gained legit, you know. I sat here and beat up enough enemies to get that much experience, kind of thing. You know? So, it's just that I, you know, used infinite HP and infinite MP to make it easier on myself. Because, A, none of you want to see me sit here and grind, right? And B, like, let's be honest. What was I trying to say there? Like, one, nobody wants to sit here and, like, watch me grind, right? But also, like, I don't want to be stuck because it's like, oh, well, you know, I have to sit here and grind, you know, for like 2 days, you know, constantly running back to the inn and so on. And so then, like, oh, suddenly there's no videos because I've been too busy on that, you know? This isn't like Xenoblade Chronicles where they give you too much experience. This game barely gives you enough experience, you know? So, whoops. But seriously, though. Sometimes people say this game is too easy. If you watch anybody play and utilize Avalanche, you can quickly understand why it's too easy. There are actually people that have said, like, this game is way too hard. And that's because it's usually they're using either fire or wind, which are, unfortunately, the weaker elements. Like, there's just no two ways about it. They are the worst elements to level, you know? Earth and water are the best elements. They legitimately are, you know? Because not only do you get the, you know, Earth barrier, which is an automatic every time, you know, instant, you know, well, not every time, but like, it is a, when it works, you know, it makes you practically invincible. But you've got things like confusion, you've got, you know, healing. Like, they are just the best elements. Oh. Rip. Like, there's just no, like, two ways about it. They are just the best elements to level. And if you know that going into the game, which a lot of people aren't going to know, it makes the game stupidly easy, you know? Dropping at, like, that's 116 damage per avalanche to an enemy. That's like 6 spells normally, if it hits. Now, the chances of it missing are pretty decent, but when you have enough enemies around you, you're going to hit, you know? Or big enough enemies, you're still going to hit, you know? That's why Avalanche just destroys the final boss. Because the final boss is massive, and so Avalanche is almost impossible. Like, it's almost impossible for it to miss. And it's great, you know, it really is. It's kind of great and hilarious, you know, but also it's like, oh dear, you know. Whoops. Didn't mean to hit the R button. So, but yeah. No, I mean, I like this game. There's a lot that I would fix if I were to remake it. I know I've said that multiple times now, but still. Like, there's a lot that I would fix if I were to remake it. But honestly, for the most part, like, here's the thing. I would call Zelda 2 a really good Zelda game. If you can get around the fact that there's limited lives, if you can get around the weird experience system, you know, Zelda 2 has a really unique style of combat that can be fun once you learn it. You know, Zelda 2 can be, you know, fun to play. You know, some of the dungeons are really hard to navigate, but some of that is the fun, the challenge, as some would say. I don't know that confusing counts as challenge, per se, but I know that some people have claimed that. And I say some people as in, like, people that I have, like, talked to, I'm like, this is really confusing. They're like, well, of course, there's got to be some challenge. I'm like, I don't see confusing as difficult. It's just confusing. You know, confusing doesn't make difficulty. Okay, here is the maze, though. We're finally in the Blue Cave maze, which is great. So there are, I think, 2 spirits in this place, and I call it a cave. They call it a maze, but not really. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that now. Sorry, I was looking at the guide. The guide listed 3 spirits here in the maze, but the maze image only listed 2 until I realized that one of the symbols is an A, not an M. And then I realized, oh, that's a question mark that's like connected to an A. So that's not a, that's what that's supposed to be. So there's a couple of things here. Also, once again, thin paths make for no monsters. The whole challenge here is just, can you make your way through the maze? Oh, well, okay. Apparently this was not thin. Apparently this spot was open enough that monsters can spawn. Ow. Bow. And so my answer, the answer to that, though, you know, can you find your way around the maze? The answer is, as soon as you come in, follow what they call the right-hand rule, and literally it is a straight path there. So, if you turn and always, you know, go to the right whenever there's a crossroads, you'll make it there. So right here, if I kept going right, I'd make it to the exit. I'm gonna go left, though, because there's a spirit to the left. Bonk, 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 bonk. I missed completely. Holy crap. I'm too close. I realized I'm too close for that to be effective. I missed. Because I was not facing the enemy. Look at that, though. We're doing 105 damage to those things. Granted, they are weak to earth magic, so that's why. But still. More water. There's 3 spirits here. You can see the other one just off the edge there. Way the heck over there. This map is wrong. That's supposed to be a healing potion, according to the map. That was mint leaves. So that's funny. Alright, so we continue on the right path. And it goes around and around and around and around until we come to another crossroads. Now, if you want the spirit, you have to go left. But if you don't care about the spirits, then just continue on the right path, or in this case, straight forward. But again, the idea being, you know, to put your right hand out, you know, and then just follow the path, kind of thing. So these things are like bugging out. That's kind of weird. But yeah, if I just go, you know, 2 lefts and a right, then I will make it to this spirit over here. And that's the last spirit. So unless I want to go searching for the the healing potion, apparently. The best option is just to go to the exit now. What? That just crashed. Which means that all of that now has to be redone. Oh boy. I don't know why that just happened. But that means all of that has to now be redone. Oh, really has to be redone. Oh my god, because I'm all the way back at Liverpool. Well, this is the last place I saved. It's all the way the frick back here. In frickin' Liverpool. I mean, not all the way back here, since this is where I need to be. I did this too. I went the completely wrong direction last time. I really wish that this emulator, I mean totally legit Nintendo 64, had save states. I don't understand why it doesn't. Supposedly it does. It says that there's a save state and load state button. But they don't work. At all. So I get the fun part of getting all the way back there and then hoping it doesn't crash again when I get back there. So for you it'll be just, you know, a few seconds. For me it'll be like half an hour. I'll be back. I'm to use some cheat codes, that's for dang sure, right? Wind Cutter level 3 is nice. Boy, I'm having the worst time getting through this thing without errors. And it's kind of insane. Maybe I should stop messing with the freaking skill settings, since I currently have Wind Cutter set to attack 30 times in a row. Eventually I'm gonna get to this freaking blue cave and unpause here. Okay, finally. It has been an hour and a half since I paused the episode. Because I was wanting to do things that I shouldn't have done. So I'm sure you saw, since I did unpause just for the fun of it a couple of times. But I was messing around, you know, giving myself, like, more elements than I should have had, just for, you know, so I could use higher level Wind Cutter. So I can, like, use, you know, it, like, cast more mana. You get more MP by casting more, Wind Cutter, you know, hitting more times, right? And then I discovered that when you use the cheat code and you, like, don't turn it off, it does weird things to your elements. And it also caused a crash eventually, but it was bad. I was like, well, okay, there's that. So then I was like, well, you know, I was looking at Game Shark stuff, and I found a couple of different cheat codes. One that allowed me to, by the way, I have a cheat code right now that turns enemies off. That way I could get through, without any more issues. But we're technically, right now, we're back to where we were before the, crash. So there's that. But I was like, well, you know, I want to, you know, do things without, like, it being an absolute pain. So I decided to try, going in and, like, making, like, I found a cheat code that allows me to edit the amount of attacks that a spell can make. Okay, I should be out of the area that was causing bugs, so, like, for example, Wind Cutter level 1 normally just attacks once. But if I turn that code on, it does like 20 attacks, and I love it. Go ahead and do an avalanche. Try to kill these guys again. Nope. I can also just completely miss. That's fine too. So, like, I was trying different approaches to try and, like, grind out some additional, like, experience, but without, like, breaking the game. And the approach I ended up coming upon was infinite HP and mana, and then having Wind Cutter set to, I think it's 20 that it's set on. There. Like 20 attacks that it makes. Oh god, I have to remember how to play now. It's literally been like an hour and a half of me with infinite HP and infinite mana. Like utilizing, like, very bugged out, you know, spells that were doing things they shouldn't at all be doing. But through it, I ended up being able to get a good amount of combat experience. See, I have 40 water elements now, which is awesome. Some of that might be bugged because of things. I injected a code that apparently, like, instantly gave me enough experience to equal, like, 7 elements. So some of that experience might, you know, so some of those elements might not be legit. But, yeah, for the most part, everything worked out pretty well. It really sucks because I had gotten up to, like, 185 HP. Before everything, yeah, but before the first thing I was doing ended up causing it to bug out. So that really sucked. I was like, man, I had like 180 something. It's like 84 or 85 HP. It was really nice. But then again, like I said, it bugged out. But having that Wind Cutter shooting 20 times, yeah, every hit of Wind Cutter counts as an experience towards mana. And that was able to give me a lot of, you know, mana experience, MP experience. So I'm up to 72 on that. So, bam! 127 damage! That's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah! I've also got a crap ton of defense from all the hits I was taking. Agility is agility because, you know, there's only so much I could move around. I might still look into just, like, hacking that up a little bit more, maybe around the 70 mark. But we'll see how that goes. So, like, I don't want... The problem was is that I broke the game in a spot where I couldn't save, right? So, like, now that I'm in a spot where I can save, because I should be able to... I'm pretty sure Epona will give me, like, a save spot. So, but here we are, the Crystal Valley! Woo! All the way down at the end, in the bottom of the blue cave. And here she is. Epona, the bird. Oh wait, no, that's Chappie. Are you past Blue Cave now? Did the crossing make you tired? There's not much you can do, except to stop here for a rest. Hey, I can save. I'm not gonna do that yet. No, this is her. This is Epona right here. She's like an anteater thing. I don't know what she is exactly, but this is Epona. So, you are Brian. Your reputation grows with every victory. My name is Epona. You have the magic jewel, do you not? But only a true magician will be able to use it. It's true. The Eletale Book has been stolen. 1,000 years ago, a great war broke out over possession over the book. But no one knew the truth behind the book's power. No one must ever open the Eletale Book. If its power is released, it will be the end of all we know. That is why the Eletale Book must be recovered and returned to its safekeeping in the monastery. Starting from the stone circle in the innermost room, go to the Isle of Skye in Loch Kilderoy. There you will find the precious stone of the water spirit. Ask the sorceress Colleen to let you borrow it. Don't want to go in there quite yet. I actually do want to stop and save. But now that I have an actual, like, save ability, I might mess around a little bit more with those codes. To try and see, you know, what I can do with it. Again, the purpose isn't, you know, to make myself OP, but the purpose is to make it so I don't have to grind for like 7 hours off camera, you know? Hey, where did you blow in from? Took a plucky devil to sneak aboard my pirate ship. A magician, huh? These days, seas are strange. Waves as tall as the mast, tossing ships around like cocks. How are we pirates going to make a living? We heard there's a sorceress who performs water magic over on the Isle of Skye. Since you are a magician, maybe you can help us get her to calm the sea. Welcome aboard. You can rest in the cabin until we make port. The only crew on the ship is this one dude. Oh no, hey, there's another guy. Hey there, shorty. If you want to lie down, go right ahead. What shall it be? Nah, I'm good. I just saved. So, hey, there's another guy over here, too. And a spirit! I'm amazed you got aboard this pirate ship so easily. Our captain must have given you a pass. Otherwise, you'd be pushing up seaweed right about now. If you're really a magician, maybe you could calm the seas so that we can seek our next plunder. Alright, keep boosting that fire. Or not fire. Freaking earth. Let me double check my spirit guide to make sure I haven't missed anything. I have, so there's that. Before you go into the house, head to the left. Oops. Looks like you can't fit into the space, but there's a spirit there. Oops. That's alright. I can make it back. I think... Ooh, Dragon's Potion. I think once you reach a certain point in this, like, part of the story, you can just, like, immediately go back, if I'm recalling correctly. So, and once again, we have teleported. Oh god, this is the place with the freaking stupid enemies. To Isle of Skye, to the right of the dock, it says. Indeed. So I have 40 healing, or water elements now. I think that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. Just because it basically gives me everything that I really want. Going all the way up to 50, obviously, would be the best for, like, healing. But the only thing left is Invalidity, which is at level 46. So, now that does destroy status effects. So it's not that it's a bad thing to pick up. I just don't know that I need to pick it up. So, bonk. Bonk. So I should probably get in here and try that. See if I... Nope. I mean, I can certainly do a heck of a lot with this spell, though. Holy crap. 122 damage. That's way more than Rock was giving me. I mean, literally, it's, you know, 2 elements off, right? So it's not even like it's a big difference. So, hey, there's the pirate captain. It seems like the lake is riled up because a priceless treasure was stolen from it. It's a fantastic gemstone filled with the power of the water. What a weak sorceress she is. How can we believe the thief got to the lake bottom? Only a powerful magician could break the barrier and go that deep. I am the sorceress of Loch Kilderoy. With that staff, you must be from the monastery. So, you can't be a friend of this greedy pirate. It makes me boil every time I see him. He blames me for the rough water on the lake, says it was my fault that the water jewel was stolen. But the wretch who stole it is the one who riles the waves. I don't think I've ever seen that word spelled out before. They say she tossed the water jewel from the stone circle deep into the lake. I'm afraid my magic can't reach it. When you fight her, try to save your magic for healing. You'll need it. Ah. This is the way back to Epona, I think. So I can't go that way yet. But yeah, I think that'll teleport me right back to Epona. So this is what? This is Colleen? Yeah. There is an element in front of Colleen's cabin, it says. In front of the fence. Other side? Aha! Yes! And then behind Colleen's cabin. Yes! Okay. That's all that I can currently access. So I'm going to run back to the ship. BAM! That's insane that it does that much damage. It's insane that it does that much damage. It really is. I'm gonna actually run back here because now I actually do have a reason to save. So, I'm gonna go ahead and do a save. And next time, when we come back, we will climb to the top of the Isle of Skye and see what we can do about the issue that is plaguing this place. So, I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to subscribe. You can check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any episodes you might have missed. There's also a link down below to my Patreon and Discord. You can come out, hang out with us, and chat and help support the channel. It really does help quite a bit. And with that, I'll see you all next time. See you later.